Welcome back to another episode of Two Beers, One Movie. We're talking about Netflix's Dahmer. Yes, Netflix's Dahmer has really taken the mainstream by storm. There's lots of clickbait articles, as you can imagine. It seems like this could be this year's Squid Games, because it really has just taken everyone by surprise. The guys from American Horror Story, Ryan Murphy and Ian Brennan, are the creators behind this serial killer thriller, and Evan Peters stars as the man himself, Jeffrey Dahmer. Most people know the story, or at least they've heard of him before the actual TV series. To not really get into much of it, because I think most people know it anyway, Jeffrey Dahmer was a homosexual guy who was a bit of a loner, a weirdo. He then begins to go and murder other gay men, basically. Progressively it turns into where he just seeks men of different colour, from Asian backgrounds, black backgrounds and African Americans, although he did kill some white people as well, but they were his targeted victims in and around the late 80s to the early 90s. What I thought about it was, I thought it was really, really well done, especially that first opening scene of the guy who leaves the nightclub with him and goes back to his apartment. The tension there is so good. I was watching it with my partner and there wasn't really a lot happening, but yet there was a lot happening. And you could feel that the performances by the actors are really good, but you can feel the tension coming through the screen. It was really somber and it was building and it was building. And it was kind of like, if you know a slap is coming, what's worse? Is it the waiting for the slap or the actual slap itself? And that waiting for something just to happen in that scene alone, where he wants to take pictures of him, so he decides to maybe dance and try and get away somehow, and then he makes him walk Exodus 3, great horror by the way. There's a dead body beside him with the blood on the bed, the blood stain on the bed, and we come to find out that's Tony later on down in a few episodes later. It really was a well-crafted and well-made piece of TV. The use of colour really stood out to me, especially yellows, but it really stood out. Each colour palette just was so oversaturated, and it stood out, and it was really, really well done. And something I'd always look for, whether it's in a film or a TV show, the use of colour and how they grade it. That was a really, really well done job. So props to the people on the grading, and obviously the production design and costume. He is a spitting image, Evan, as Jeffrey. His demeanour, his voice, it's so creepy, it's so eerie. He got him down to a T. I've watched a few clips. I've seen a documentary years ago about it, and he really got that real, he's a real passive guy when he's talking, passive and weird when he's talking to people, and obviously he has that like psychotic killer streak in him, and he tries to show a vulnerability to his character, especially in the Tony episode, and I think that's what really made that kill very, very strong. That episode was so good, Silence. It made it feel where we were seeing it from Tony's perspective, and it made you really, really cringe and look away. And although you know what happens, there's a part of you wishing it didn't happen, and oh, please let them rewrite it. But yeah, it was so hard to watch that scene, but so good. The performance was so good. The way they edited it with the silence was really, really well done and really well crafted. All the performances are really good. The directions are really good. It wasn't that gory at all. It's a lot of play. It's psychologically, where it's making you picture it in your mind rather than seeing it. So like visually, there's not a lot of blood, and there's little bits of blood here and there, but psychologically you are thinking of every little aspect of what could have happened, how did it go. Sometimes just imagining it is just as bad as seeing it. And that's really well done. It's really well crafted. And some filmmakers do it really, really excellent. Really do an excellent job of doing that. And something that really has to be admired. It's one of my favourite series of the year, and I've seen a few of them. I've seen Blackbird, I've seen Bear this year, Barry, this, and not Breaking, Better Call Saul, and it's right up there with them. It's so good. Westworld was good this year too, although maybe that could come to an end, but let's go off on that. I don't really want to get into that. But this is so good. The guys have really, really came and brought Ian and Ryan, and it really does show, just in terms of the colour palettes. It's those little details. I don't know if other people notice it, maybe they do. They really stand out. The tension, whereas sometimes there's no music in the background, and it's just so fucking tense where it's building, and it's like turning up the knob of a stereo, but the stereo's not playing music, it's just playing static, and it's rumbling and it's rumbling, and you can just feel it in your stomach until bam, it explodes, something happens. And that waiting for something to happen, that's genius almost, where you can make people sitting at home feel that tension without even being in the room with them. It's just really, really top filmmaking or TV making. So yes, I really, really enjoyed it. It's 4 beers out of 5, 8 out of 10, whatever you want to call it. I'd highly recommend it. I'm sure everyone's already fucking seen it anyway. But please like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll catch you in the next episode.